Hi there, my name is Tracy Wagner and I'm a makeup artist with Seint Beauty, and today I am going to do a quick tutorial on how to do a really natural eyeshadow look. And so you'll see I have a bare face. I have not put on my makeup, and so the reason for that is if you use darker colors or shimmers or glitters, sometimes you might get a little fallout. Sometimes we go too far outside of where we want the shadow, and so I just find it's a lot easier to do cleanup when you're putting your makeup on versus if you already have it on. So that's the reason for my bare face. The first thing that I want to do is I want to tap into my brightening highlight, which is Linen. And I'm just going to tap that on to my eyelid, and what it's gonna do is going to create a canvas that is consistent in color. It's gonna do some color correcting for the purpley, blue hues that I tend to have on my eyelids, especially in allergy season, which it's March in Texas, so we are in full swing of allergy season. So lots of different ways to do eyeshadow primer, but I found that's the easiest and most successful for me. I'm gonna use a couple of brushes today. First, I'm gonna use my multitasker. I'm gonna use the pointy end, and this is the palette I'm gonna use today. This is my Black Friday eyeliner. This is Unicorn, Philly, Cupcake, Mama, and Soulmate. So I'm going to dip into quickly Black Friday eyeliner and just really do a soft, kind of a smeared line on that lower lash line. I don't want to go all the way into the inside corner, because anything that we put dark on the inside of our eye is going to make our eyes look smaller. And I want my eyes to look bigger, and I want to look more awake. And so on the top lash line, I just go not quite to the center with a really soft line. You could do as thick and dark as you wanted. You could smear it out with your smudge brush if you wanted to. But I like the way it went on. Okay, first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna go into Cupcake and just put that all over the lid. That's a matte finish, and that's what we want all over the lid. Now I'm going into Mama, and I'm starting at that inner corner and just kind of smudging that on almost to the center of the eyelid. Next, I'm going to go to the smaller end, and I'm gonna dip into Philly, which is my darkest shade. And I'm just gonna dab that right above the crease, not in the crease. If it goes down into the crease, that's okay. I have hooded eyes, and so anything I put in the crease, you're not gonna see it anyway. And so for hooded eyes, you wanna focus on above the crease and then that lower lid, the part of the skin that you see when your eye is open. Okay, so I've got Mama on the inside, Philly on that outside corner, and now I want a little shimmer. And so I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm gonna dab a little Soulmate right in the center above the pupil in my eye. Not too much, just enough to grab the light. And these colors go together so well. Okay, now I wanna blend. I'm gonna use the smudge brush, and I'm just gonna use it to kind of tap gently and blur all of those together so that we don't see any harsh lines. if they were the same shade, it would almost be an ombre where your softer, lighter shade is in the middle and then your darker shade is on the outside. But of course, they're different shades, so it's not really ombre, but same effect. You can't mess it up. If you get too much, you can smudge it out. You can pick it up with a beauty blender or a perfector sponge. If you don't get enough and you want more, then you simply go in and you add more at any time. But it's just about blending and getting the colors exactly what you want them to be. And it looks like I need a little more mama just to blur that line a little bit. So let's see if that takes care of it. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things I do to finish the look. I'm gonna go into, I wanna make sure I have a clean brush for this one because it's our brightest white, which is unicorn. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use my finger. I think that when you're learning any new makeup, but particularly Seint, it's just, I've found it easier to start with my finger because it helps me know exactly how much product I have. And it just helps me get the placement more precise. But you could definitely use a brush if you're not comfortable using your finger, you don't wanna touch your face. And certainly if you're applying the makeup to someone else, you could use a brush. So I want something very bright on that brow bone. And that's again, an effort to draw the eye up when you're looking at my face. It helps define your brow, makes me look more awake. And then I'm gonna, because that is so white, I'm just gonna go over it with some mama and just blur it out a little bit. So there's really no, well, there probably are some wrong things. There's some wrong things to do with eyeshadow, but a lot of it just comes down to personal preference. I tend to be more natural. I go for neutral colors. And so this is a really easy technique to help me feel confident in my eye makeup. So you can see, this is where I want my makeup to stop. So you can see that I went too far and this just looks, it just looks a little messy. So several things you could do to clean that up. Since I don't have on makeup, I could take an eye makeup remover cloth and I could just swipe it and make a line. But what I wanna do is, I'm gonna show you how I clean up with the same brightener that I used as the primer for my lid. So I'm just gonna gently tap into my brightening highlight, which is linen. I'm gonna use the buff brush and I'm just gonna swipe and make a line. And that's gonna clean up that outer edge that I went a little crazy with and got the eyeshadow outside of where I wanted it. Now, I'm not gonna leave it like that. You can blend it out now, or probably the easiest way that I've found is when I put the rest of my makeup on, it's just gonna blend in naturally when I put my highlights on. So that is it. That's a quick, easy eyeshadow look. If I wasn't talking and showing and explaining, I could do that in just a couple of minutes and have a really pretty natural finished look on my eyes for the day. So thank you for watching. Again, my name is Tracy Wagner. If you have any questions about Seint, let me know. I'm happy to help you. Bye, guys.